My name's Judy Schlingsworth. I'm a budgety lady from Ingania. This is about my country on the Paroo River. This Knockaleechee old homestead, we stayed in the sheriff's quarters and went fishing at King Charlie Waterhole.
My people country extends from north of Quilpie in southwest Queensland. It comes down from Quilpie to Ullo, flows down through Naree into Perry Lake and eventually into the Darling River. Our country extends east to the Warrego River and part of it's Ingania, and west to the Grey Range as we called it. That's all Stony Ridge country. And most of our country is made up of black soil, red soil. In places you got mulga country, red soil country, you got granite country, and it's all a mixture of that channel country in southwest Queensland and northwest New South Wales.
Budgeted land there. This is they told of me, the paddy melon.
We wanted to get back on country, and the only way we could do it is through a national park. Once we done the case study and had it got it protected by Ramsar, I ran into Danielle, and we decided to get some funding for a culture camp. That's where it all started. And to get back on country, that's the way we done it. And with the help from national parks. And it was great to go back there because with the Barkindji mob the first time, both sides of the park, we really enjoyed it. We sat down and spoke with one another, one-on-one, and discussed family ties with the park through our ancestors.
Been working with the Budgety people. We first met in 2009 out at Knockaleechee Nature Reserve during the 30 years celebrations for Knockaleechee as a national park estate. While talking to some people, including Phil Ullo and other of his family members, they expressed their concerns, but also their hopes to have more connection to country and using Knockaleechee Nature Reserve as a way of getting them back to country. So we sought some funding and were successful at finding some funding to hold some culture camps and get the traditional owners back onto country.
That's where my sister was born, up from Knockaleechee, up to Willera station. You see Willera? Just down from the border. I think it's 24 miles down from Angerfoot. Yeah, 24 miles down. That's where my sister was born, on the Paroo. Across from where I was born, in the Willera. But I was born on the Cutterbar. She was born on the Paroo. Me and Mum worked on Knockaleechee. I only worked for 50 cents, mate. Oh, I was pumped right out when I was small. I was 13 and they made me get out and do a bit of work. That's how bad it was. If I didn't get out, they was going to send me away. So it was bad. Yeah, I'd like to see it again, you know. I'd like to go out there again anyhow. I love that country. You can go around walking about, go out, look for emu egg, go down fishing with crayfish on the riverbank and all. It's a lovely place, I like that.
Well, I think it was real special just going back to where our people were and how they met the Barkindji mob.
And for 2011, we took kids at the night culture camp on that day. And I showed them sites, what do we call it, sites, fruits, native plants, animals,
how we been looking at the land and looking after it and teaching other people about it.
We've had 3 or 4 camps. A couple of them were just the elders to get them familiar with the park, and that was really great because it was quite relaxed. We got around and saw a fair bit of the park. It's 74,000 hectares, and we got around and saw a lot of the different landform along the Paroo and the Kookaburra.
To go out on culture camps with the grown-ups first, with my cousins, brothers and aunties, we all went out there and looked around the country and picked out certain spots that we could show kids, and it was a good couple of days we had there. We enjoyed each other's company and the cooking on the camp oven.
I'll go out and looking for plants and things and showing the people what kind of plants are growing out on my country. We use some of them for medicine. Some for medicine, and we eat some of the fruits, wild fruits off the tree, and suck the honey out of the leaves. Didn't no one know about that. And the artifacts, they're all over there, everywhere. That's why I went back there to have a look at it again. It's the first time I've seen them, and I had to go back the second time to have a look again. I went fishing. It's lovely fish, plenty of fish on that river. I love fishing on that river. It's the main river got the big fishes in because I like it. Yeah. Best river. Yeah. Looking for all the old sites where the old people used to camp. Right around there, and the stone they used to use for grinding things up with. Never used to use anything, you know, what you buy in the store now. No way, they used to have them things.
A culture camp is for elders and more for kids. Take kids out, show what the elders done and what we got to look after.
This is what it's all about, is teaching our new generations how our people lived in the end, before my time, before my mother's time. And, you know, when it just comes down the line, we teach as we go along.
I enjoyed just taking kids out. I love taking kids out. And the land they walked, showing them the land we walked along and our ancestors walked on. It was like that. I said to kids, mainly for the kids, they gotta take culture camps. Community, I'll bring back a lot of things back and shows what we done on a culture camp. And I reckon it's beautiful. I said, well, why don't you come out and look at the culture camp? Bring kids out and you get more experience from the youth, showing kids what the culture camp is.
Our old people, you know, the women used to pull this and they'd leave it out in the sun to soften it, and then they'd make baskets out of it. Yeah, you'll see a lot of Aboriginal people now, especially up the territory now, they all have baskets, and that's the sort of stuff they're made out of.
On this, up at Naree Nature Reserve, it's part of a plate, and it's very smooth. But we're not going to take it out and leave it where it is.
And they can talk about it in schools and that. Well, I enjoy everything. The artefacts we found, learn about the camp itself and our cooking, what we usually do on fire and what we can get out of the river and what we cook from the river.
The Paroo is a beautiful wetland and it's of international importance. So on Naree we've got a Ramsar wetland, and the Budgety people in partnership with the Barkindji have already been involved in projects to do with the Ramsar wetland. Discussions were held at ULO in 2010 about entering into a joint management agreement for the Budgety people to be a part of the care, control and management of their lands in partnership with national parks and in co-management with the Barkindji people as well. So this is one way of firstly getting community back to country, familiarising them, and then helping them to teach and pass on their knowledge of country to their kids and grandkids. It's been a real pleasure. We've really enjoyed facilitating and getting people there, meeting them, hearing their stories, explanation of their connection to country, their sharing of knowledge with national parks people as well as their own community about plants and animals that are significant to country, and issues that are really important about the management of country and how the Budgety people want their lands managed. It's very heartfelt when they talk about the damage that's been happening through the introduction of pest animals and weeds. The goats are a big issue. Only Ruby talked about the native bees no longer being around. You can't get sugar bag, and that's because of the introduction of European bees on the park. The pigs do a lot of damage along the banks.
Well, I think parks have been doing a lot of things, and what we know about the land, and we've been learning stuff of parks and wildlife, and they've been learning of us.
It's not smooth or anything, but it's rough, so it has a bit of grip. Stone won't
see all the little nicks
out of it.
Passing on knowledge to our children is very important, and also looking after park. What we would like to see happen in the park is the feral animals, cats, goats, camels, pigs. We would like to see all that cleared off the park, because it's called a nature park, so let's make it a nature park. The other thing that I'd like to see park is to fence the place properly. If you're going to make it a nature park, you've got to make sure the fence is right to keep out the feral animals. You've got to put in a contract now for goats to get rid of feral animals off park. So, if they gave me and my cousins and my community a little bit of land in there, I think we can get rid of the feral animals just as good as any.
I'd like to see more of our people go out and manage the parks, Like old people and all go out and manage the parks, show them how to walk and talk about the land, not the national park. Big national parks, like, we can take them out, live with them at that.
But still, in all of that, we still have the beauty of the migrating birds coming in for breeding, the pelicans, the egrets, the ibis. And they've actually come in while we're there, and it just changes, it lifts everyone's, they're already happy, but it lifts them even higher to see their clan or their totems and countrymen flying home as well. It's really, really magic. It was fantastic to have the elders and the old people out there with the kids, and the sharing of knowledge and telling of stories about how their old people would have been on this land and what they have left behind evidence of their connection and their being on country. National parks, we are very lucky that we are able to assist communities to get back to country. We have lands that are now being recognised more and more, that they're not just owned by national parks, they belong to traditional people who have a right to manage country and be part of that management.
I enjoyed the looks on the children's faces when we showed them things and explained things to them. They were happy, and I think it's just being on country makes you happy, because I know I was. And my sons and daughters were. They love it. in the future I hope our tribal family keeps coming and keep going to that place and taking their kids there and then their grandkids and so on and so on. Yeah. Just to see them, how happy they were walking through the park with the grown-ups, it was fantastic.